Well, here we are at the beginning of 2009, and this is a year where we're predicting doom and gloom. And I think there's a danger, therefore, that we just get all negative. I see it as an opportunity to get something positive out of a recession. It's an opportunity to rethink the way we do things, to look at some of the fundamental inefficiencies we have in our businesses. And my particular interest is in the way people work. If you think about it, we've worked the same way for the last 200 years because we've never really adapted to using the new technologies. They're there, but we've overlaid them on the old way of doing things. It's an opportunity to fundamentally rethink what's work about, how does it fit in our lives, and how can we make our businesses more productive, particularly small businesses, by having people work differently. Flexible working actually is a very good way of saving money. A lot of people don't see it that way. Typically it's promoted in organisations as being an HR benefit. You look at what government promotes it as, it's family-friendly policy. So surprise, surprise, businesses think, well, it's nothing to do with saving money. Whereas actually, you look at how people are more productive when they're working flexibly. You look at the saving in real estate costs, for example, because people don't need a desk, don't need the same office space. So there's some significant savings. But unfortunately, it never gets promoted as that. It gets promoted as some sort of HR benefit. And the problem is that in a recession, people want to revert back to old habits as opposed to do something new because maybe they think it's a risk. Whereas actually all the research, all the evidence, and there's lots of case studies showing that it's a time for businesses to introduce more flexible working, which allows them to attract and retain good people and become more productive. I think there is some evidence that businesses of all sizes are cutting back, and unfortunately that means often reviewing what they want to spend on technology. Now, where they can't easily justify that expense and they can get away with using the old stuff, then maybe that's okay. The problem often is seeing technology just as an expense when actually there's a return on that investment. If the return is people work differently, people work more productively, and you can actually keep people who might otherwise have left, then it's a good investment. But you have to be able to see that return, which sometimes is less tangible than the cost which people focus on. A lot of people talk about toolkits for flexible working as if you can kind of have flexible working in a carrier bag or something. There are different technologies that suit different people. Obviously, people's ability to do their emails and phone calls, so the BlackBerry, for example, remotely is one such technology. But in the end, flexible working is about people able to do their job in different ways with appropriate technology. It may be as simple as the mobile phone, because anybody who has a mobile phone, unless they only ever use it from sitting at their desk, is by definition a mobile worker, and therefore they may use it when they're on the train, in the motorway service station or whatever. I think there's a feeling sometimes that all this stuff is very high tech and we're only a small little business with not much technology, therefore we can't do all this flexible working, and that's not true. You can do it with fairly simple, available, economic technology. You don't have to spend loads to do it. And I think there's a real opportunity here, perhaps triggered or forced on by the recession, for us to rethink the way we're getting the most out of our people, getting the savings on the bottom line, and that's where flexible working fits into the whole package of how you manage effectively in the 21st century.